Hey, man, Bad Voodoo. After watching your spanking video, I had some comments to make. I said in the text comment I left, Mark Lowry, who is a comedian who I think you would like because he's from Texas and he's a very conservative comedian. Not that I'm conservative, like ultra conservative or anything, but Mark Lowry talks about when he was a kid growing up, his dad actually spanked him multiple times for various different things, namely him being bad. Um, but not that I was ever like this little heathen or something. I wasn't. Don't get the impression from that message I typed. But I do remember getting spanked for being bad and sassing my parents and stuff. Um, and, my grandparents have paddled me. My parents have paddled me for being bad. And the way we were raised, all my dad had to do to us. I mean, it was so rare my father ever had to spank our butts that all my dad had to do was look at us and say, "Stop!" I mean, I'm not an only child. I do have siblings. But yeah, seriously, all my dad had to do was look at us and say, "Stop it!" And we'd be like, "Yes, sir." And we'd sit down and be quiet as church mice. I mean, it was just very, very rare my dad would ever have to blister our butts for being bad. Seriously. He just would say, "Stop!" And we were like, "Yes, sir." You sit down. I do think some kids nowadays, do need the discipline. There is a kid that I do know that lives locally to me who, I won't divulge the child's identity. It's a boy. But the kid, I've said this for like years, the kids needed its hide tanned, like in the worst way. I mean, the kids needed some good spanking and his parents to be kicked right in the butt and said, "Look, you guys, need to act like you want to be parents to this kid. What is wrong with you guys that you don't want to, discipline this kid?" I mean, they no joke will not discipline this kid. I mean, good spanking every once in a while and taking stuff away from this kid works wonders. I mean, grounding. You send a kid to their room, you may as that's like telling them go ahead and keep being bad. I mean, I'd give them I've seen on like the TV show Super Nanny, and this I absolutely love Jo the Super Nanny. She is so cool with these kids. Like what happened, and I actually saw this one little girl on Super Nanny, for example, just stripped naked and peed in the corner because this little kid was so mad about mom putting the kid in the corner. Jo Super Nanny looked at the kid's mom and said, "That's the equivalent of flipping you off." Well, Jo told the mom how to handle that, and oh my gosh, it's like what it is mom, basically swatted the kid on the butt. The kid had to stand there in its urine for an extra 10 minutes, I think, and then mom made the kid clean it up. I mean, and it's just, there's nothing better than tough love. I mean, there's a few people that I know that are just now, and they're adults, getting some tough love because they really, no lie, need it. I mean, they needed some tough love like a while ago. I won't say who they are, what their situations are, but yeah. I mean, even as, kids going into adults, they need tough love. And from watching your video, I get the impression that your dad and the principal and everything gave you some tough love and made you, a better person. Well, and I mean, I do agree that, spanking in some instances, yeah, is necessary, or, at least, discipline. I mean, I know that my parents wouldn't put up with any hanky-panky from me, and if I just looked at them cross-eyed and was being bad, they're like, "Stop it!" And I'm like, "Okay." But yeah, I was a good kid, though. I mean, not to sound like I'm bragging or anything, I was a good kid. I mean, I remember being about 6 or 7 years old, and my great grandmother on my mom's side, I was at her house, and I remember her specifically saying to my parents that I was one of the best behaved little kids she'd ever seen. She said, you know, your kid is sitting there being quiet. She said, I wish some of these other kids would be as well behaved as your kids. I remember hearing her say this, and I was about 6. And, you know, I was off from, you know, off for summer. And I vividly remember her telling my mom how well behaved I was. And, you know, that left an impression on me. I'm like thinking, here this 90-year-old plus lady's telling my mom I'm being good. You know, and I was scared to death of her because she was the kind of woman that you didn't make her mad, because shortly after that, one of my older cousins, who's now deceased, came in and made me cry, and she picked me up and calmed me down and told this cousin, said, look, you either get this kid outside and keep her calm, or I'm going to blister your butt. And we're talking a guy that's old enough to be my dad. It was a guy cousin. And he said, yes, ma'am. And he herded me outside to sit on her front porch. And she said, and don't let the snakes get the kid, or I'll blister your butt extra for that. And he said, yes, ma'am. But yeah, I mean, discipline is a very necessary thing on occasion. Well, I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.